And what we do is provide the supportive services to help the men and women that are returning back to our community after they have paid their debt to society, to do everything we can to help them to successfully reintegrate back into their home, back into the workplace, and ultimately for them to be stand-up leaders out there in the community with an overall goal of them never, ever, ever reoffending again. So we've been operating in this space since 2009, and since that time, we've had the great privilege of working with over 6,000 men and women. We've had the great privilege to work with. Of those 6,000 men and women we had the great privilege to work with, we have built up the number one reentry mechanism literally in the country for not only helping people not go back to prison, but to be able to live levels of life that most people only dream of. We could not do that without the collaborating partners and the support that we get right here inside our local community. And we're going to acknowledge some of those here in a brief moment. But first, I want to take a time out to honor and appreciate some of the greatest leaders in our community, and one who had to join in from across the country that carved out time on their Friday evening at the end of a very hot week to come and celebrate with you tonight. So on behalf of the Deputy Director of the Federal Bureau of Prisons, Mr. Joshua Smith, who is the very first formerly incarcerated individual who has been placed over the Federal Bureau of Prisons. He said he wasn't able to be here today. Something came up on his calendar, so he wasn't able to be here, but he did carve out time to send you a very important message. So Chad, if you can go ahead and roll that, that would be great.
I'm Josh Smith, Deputy Director of the Federal Bureau of Prisons. Man, it seems like yesterday that I was sitting right where you're sitting, either just transitioning out or been out just for a little bit, wondering what does life look like for me moving forward. Many times doubt setting in. Can I make it? Can somebody like me even come out of where I've been and find any level of success? My challenges were many. No finances, no support system, no education, so many things that I could stack up, so many reasons and excuses I could use for not being successful. Yet, here I am today, somebody with a marriage of 29 years, 4 children and 4 grandchildren, living a life that I never ever thought was possible after spending 5 years in prison. You know, when I left the prison, there was one scripture that was just resounding in my head, and it was, be faithful in the little things, and I'll make you ruler over much. So I began to just look at those little things that I could be faithful on. And so you are all going through your own individual unique challenges right now. The reason I took my time to be able to encourage you today is because sometimes you just need to see a little hope. Sometimes you just need to hear from somebody that has come through those challenges, and you're surrounded by many of them today. Well, I'm here to tell you that you can make it. You can be successful, but it will be your choice. Now, I understand there's a room full of people that are supporters, room full of people from the community and others. Even thank you to Sheriff Kevin McHale for hosting this event and putting this together. This is what it takes for all of us to be successful, the community engaging in these things. So to you graduates, what I want to tell you is you can do it. Remove the excuses out of your mind. Remove all of the noise that's happening and focus on the challenges ahead. You start moving forward and finding those little successes and celebrating in those things. And I'll tell you, as I stand here now, as the deputy director of the largest prison system in the country, the prison system that I came out of almost 25 years ago. I can tell you, God has been there with me. And I get to live a life that I never, ever thought was possible. I'm hoping that same happens for you. So I want to thank all of you in the room that aren't transitioning from incarceration, but that are there supporting others. This takes the community and others to really make sure that our communities are going to be safer. This is true public safety. And so I want to thank many of you, even though you might not have had a direct impact in my life, I want to thank you for the impact that you're having in others, because it's people like you is the reason that I'm standing where I'm standing today. So for all of you, I can't wait to hear the success stories that come out of this graduation. And I am thankful for the opportunity to be able to stand here and talk to you today. Best of luck.
Can we give Josh Smith another gigantic round of applause? So grateful that he took the time out to be able to address. You're going to hear from some other great leaders in our community in a little bit, but I would like for you to say hello right now to one of the greatest CEOs, not male or female, one of the greatest CEOs literally on the planet, my dear friend, CEO of the RTC, Miss MJ Maynard. Could you please, kindly, just say hello. Also, you're going to be hearing from today my dear friend from the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department, Captain Greg Finnis. Please give him a hand. And then my dear friend and brother from another mother, the senior pastor of Salt Church, Pastor Vernon Fox. Can you please give him a gigantic hand? And then also administering our oath today for our graduates to remain productive law-abiding members of the community. We are so honored to have the Honorable Danielle Piper joining us tonight. Please give her a hand. We could not do this tonight because it's a very heavy list for us to be able to put this together. And every graduation, we have a graduation sponsor. Everybody say graduation sponsor. Graduation sponsor. And now I want you to say thank you, graduating sponsor. Thank you, graduating sponsor. We are so grateful to have one of our community partners that stepped up and wanted to sponsor this month's graduation. And we're so grateful to have a partnership with TransDev, not only for employment opportunities, but other resources to help us to do what it is that we're doing. So if you guys can please put your hands together for the area general manager from TransDev, Miss Ashley Cole.
Hello, everyone. Hello. I will keep this brief because I don't want to get emotional. TransDev is not only standing beside you, but we stand behind you. TransDev has been a gift to me. I won't tell my story, but I come from humble beginnings myself, and this was a no-brainer to participate in a graduation of this nature. So you guys are an asset. I don't let the self-talk harm you. Self-talk is more harmful than what you may think. You guys are an asset to our community. You've stepped up, and we're stepping behind you and beside you, okay? Thank you.
Can we give Ashley another hand? And you guys heard what she said. She says she's not going to tell her story, but we know that everybody who steps up in this room, they catch a bug. So she'll be back to tell the story, I promise you that. Give her a hand, please. While we're sending out thank you, as I just want to say thank you to some of our collaborating partners. I'm going to run through them relatively quickly, but please don't let the brevity for which I go through take away from the tremendous amount of support that we get from our collaborating partners. Our collaborating partners like my home church, City Light Church, Kenneth Copeland Ministries, Liberty Baptist Church, the Crossing Church, Salt Church, Word of Life Christian Center, Central Christian Church, Life Springs Christian Church, Southwest Prison Ministries, Southern Hills Baptist Church, Church LV, and my fellow chaplains from Chaplaincy, Nevada. Can we please give them all a big, gigantic round of applause? Hope for Prisons also processes referrals from the following agencies: the Nevada Department of Corrections, Nevada Department of Public Safety, Parole and Probation, Highway Patrol, City of Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department. We also work very closely with the Clark County District Attorney's Office, the Criminal Division, also the Family Support Division. Want to tip my hat to District Attorney Steve Wolfson for developing that level of partnership. Can we give them a big, gigantic round of applause? Also want to say thank you to Workforce Connections. Also want to say thank you to Employee MV. We also want to say thank you to Nevada State Bank, and I believe we have a representative from Nevada State Bank here. Would you please stand up and wave to us? Thank you so very, very much. We appreciate your support. And I want to encourage all the graduates that at the end of the graduation, you want to make a beeline over to that table, because we can get you plugged in with bank accounts so that when you start making good money, to where you're going to be able to earn a sustainable wage and take care of yourself and take care of your family, we want to make sure you have that bank account in place so we don't have to put the money in our sock drawer anymore. Does that make sense? So as we make way for our first speaker, I could stand up here and I can read her bio, but I won't do that. Right? I have known MJ Maynard for well over 10 years. I've had the privilege of her not only serving on my board, but also the president of our board of directors. What she has helped Hope for Prisons accomplish in the Las Vegas Valley is just completely amazing. And has not been on the board for probably 5-6 years or something like that. But the seeds that she had sown many, many years ago, we are still realizing the harvest of that today. If you guys would please put your hands together for the rock star CEO of the Regional Transportation Commission, Miss MJ Maynard.
I am so honored to be here. So I'm going to get to this shortly. It's my homemade. I made it today. I was in kind of a rush. Excuse, it's like a third grader, but it's really, I did this. So I'm going to put it right over here. It says, "You are your thoughts. You are your thoughts." Okay? So I'll put it right here. Before I get started, I feel like I have to acknowledge I was married to a Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department officer, Rich Schmidt, P number 3630. He served 26 years as a police officer here in Las Vegas, and in December of 2022 took his own life. And so I want to acknowledge all of the police officers that work really hard day after day. When you hear my story, I still laugh that I actually married a cop, but I'll get there. So I just want to say if to the police officers, again, thank you for all that you do. It's okay not to be okay, and take good care of yourselves. So I always get a little nervous telling my story, because even now at my very advanced age, I start to think about who's going to judge me. And I start thinking about, will you look at me differently? But I am who I am. And at the age of 9, I realized that the world is a scary place, and that the people that are supposed to love you many times don't, or they can't, or they won't. And so I'll tell you just real briefly, I was born in California, and my father, and I have a hard time calling him father, I'll call him Mike. Mike pulled my sister, I was 9, my sister Susie was 8, he pulled us out of school. And so we were moving to Seattle, Washington, so he would start a business and the rest of the family would stay in California and join us at a later date. So he pulls me out of school, pulls my sister out, and we drive to Seattle, and he moves into a big house with his business partner and his two daughters, and made us all share the same room. So 2 twin beds, but there's 3 of us. As at the age of 9, I grew very, very afraid to close my eyes at night, because as the door would creak open, my sister and I sleep in our separate beds. My father, Mike, would choose which bed he was going to sleep in. And he sexually abused my sister and I for quite a while. And so I knew at 9 that I knew it wasn't right, but I had this, he's my dad, right? What do you do? And so that sort of distrust set in rather early. My mother, and I have a hard time calling her mother, Peggy, she ended up joining us later. And, I didn't say anything. As my father would come in at night, I had the ability to sort of leave my body. I wasn't there. I didn't want to feel it. And so my mom joins us, and I didn't talk about it. My sister didn't talk about it. And it turns out that she also had 0 DNA in her body to be a mom. And so by the time I was, I think about 12, her parents divorced, and she left. I think if she'd been born in a different generation, she would have chosen not to be a mom. She just couldn't do it. And so at the age of about 15, I was hungry. We grew up in a house that was usually no heat, no lights. I went to bed hungry a lot, held a pillow against my stomach so that I didn't think about how hungry I was. And I got my first job as a dishwasher in a restaurant because they fed me, and I could sometimes take food home to my little sisters. And I tell you that because I did know it at the time, but there were people that could see something in me that I couldn't see in myself. But during that time, 13, I think I took my first hit of acid at 13 and hash, and you name it, I tried it. 13, alcohol, drugs, boys, anything to not feel. I just spent my life trying to run as fast as I could so I didn't feel. And I felt on the outside, I think, hey, MJ, she's okay. But on the inside, I was my own worst enemy. I was a piece of, no, there's children here. I really wasn't, in my mind, I was just a loser. I wasn't smart enough. I wasn't good enough. And if anyone knew what my family was like, where I came from, I would not be accepted. So dishwasher, I quickly became a busser, and I worked my way up at a little restaurant. By the time I was in high school, senior year, I was a shift manager, managing people older than me. And I thought, I think I'm pretty good at this. But in my family, no one had ever gone to school, never gone to college, I should say. And I thought, I just wasn't that, I was the girl from the wrong side of the tracks. No one goes to college in my family. And then, I think it was probably 19, almost 20, when I had a conversation with myself, kind of what are your thoughts? I'm like, I'm not going to let them win. I'm not going to let Peggy and Mike win. I'm not going to let who they are define who I can be. And so I heard about the hotel program here at UNLV. I went to community college. I was on a Pell Grant, and I was really poor. I had no money. Went to community college for a couple of years, and I transferred here to UNLV. I sold my Volkswagen. I was kind of this hippie girl from Seattle. Moved here with my 10-speed bike, and what a shock Las Vegas was to me. But I will tell you. I'll tell you that, and let me get my notes because I want to make sure that I cover this. So I found myself on this path. I'm like, okay, I think I can do this. I can do this. Even though, again, I've always having that mental dialogue. I wasn't smart enough. I wasn't good enough. People found out I'm not going to make it. And so what do? I get into college. I dropped out. I was more comfortable when there was chaos in my life than I was comfortable just kind of being normal. Jay, God, good for you. That's great. Good job. On the inside, I kept going back to, I'm not good enough. I'm not smart enough. And so I tell you that because at the end of the day, here in this program, it's so important that you have the support of Hope for Prisoners. It's so important that you have the support of your family and your friends, your job, whatever your support system is, whatever you call it. But if it doesn't start with you first, doesn't matter. It has to start with you. If I had not had a conversation with myself that I wasn't going to let my past define my future, I wouldn't have gone to school. I might still be a dishwasher in a restaurant. I don't know. So I tell you that's the really important part of all of this, is that you really can be what it is you want to be. So I wrote some things down, and I just want to read these to you. So today marks a new chapter in your journey, one filled with hope, resilience, and endless possibilities. I want you to remember that your past does not, and I mean that, does not define your future. Your future is filled with hope, resilience, and I mean this, endless possibilities. But you have to believe it first. I want you to remember that your past does not define your future. I can't say that enough. Every day is a fresh start, a chance to rebuild, to grow, and to transform your lives. You have already shown incredible strength by facing your challenges head on. You know, you are all the smartest, you are all the strongest people in this room right now. What you have gone through is incredible. You are stronger than the average bear. I tell you this, what you've gone through, most people could not go through and then come out and sit here today. You have already shown incredible strength by facing your challenges head on. Now, as you step forward into society, embrace your worth and the potential within you. Believe in yourself, for you are capable of achieving great things. Your experiences have made you wiser, more compassionate, and more determined. And I'll tell you that determination, I work with Ashley at Translate is our contractor. I think I have a reputation of being a little scrappy. That has kept me going. So keep that determination burning inside. Never forget that redemption is a powerful gift, and it's within your reach. Surround yourself with positivity, seek support when needed, and stay committed to you, to your goals. Your journey may have had setbacks, and I had a lot of setbacks. I'd take 5 steps forward, I'd take 2 back, 6 forward, 3 back, but I kept going. Remember, you are not alone. There are people who believe in your potential and want to see you succeed. Keep moving forward with courage and integrity, and know that your future is bright with possibility. And that probably sounds easier to say, but I'm telling you, it's true. You are not just survivors, you are fighters, dreamers, and you are change makers. The world is waiting for the positive impact that only you can make. So stay strong, stay hopeful, and keep pushing ahead. Your best days really are ahead of you. Thank you.
Can we give MJ another round of applause? Thank you, thank you, thank you. Man, there's something about a great leader who comes up and just unzips their heart and shares, right? It sets the precedence for this incredible connectivity that, you know, we have more in common than we have differences, right? So I want to tell you about a session of our training, which is called the Vivid Vision. I want everybody to say the Vivid Vision. But yeah, to say it like it is, say the Vivid Vision. So inside the Vivid Vision, we challenge our graduates to take a look at their life 1 year from graduation day. And we ask them to put it down on a piece of paper. In other words, it's July 25th, 2026. We ask them to wake up in the morning and walk us through a day in their life. It's their vivid vision. The thing that I really loved about the Vivid Vision is because, as the great John Maxwell said, he said, if you have ever seen someone who was just completely hopeless, we see people like that all the time. They are hopeless. He said the reason why they're hopeless is because they cannot see their future. They can't see it, and they're hopeless. But he said, when you can get someone to rise up out of that state of hopelessness and see the future and have faith in a process that right there is obtainable, that's when they find hope in the moment. So we're going to have an opportunity to hear some of the vivid visions. Everybody say vivid vision. You're going to have an opportunity to hear some of the vivid visions, but first, we want to have you hear the vivid vision of someone who once upon a time stood in this room and read his vivid vision. And we always bring these alumni back so you can hear their stories. So it's like John Ponder's not the only talking head. It's a real life testimony. And I'm going to let him tell his story and how he is connected with someone here in this room. And I'm sure that you can have that same level of connectivity too. If you guys would please put your hands together for the Rockstar alumni, Mr. Amari Wilcox.
Right. Good evening, everyone. Right. My name is Amari, and I'm a Hopeful Prisoners graduate of September 2023. I moved from Brooklyn, New York to Las Vegas, Nevada, because my mother, she feared that the environment I grew up in would eventually lead me down the path of incarceration or even worse, death. As a single mother, she worked full-time, and she did the best she can to provide food, clothing, and a respectable home for all 5 of her children. But despite her efforts to keep me and my twin brother on the right path, we often face challenges.
There you go.
We often face challenges due to the activities happening in our neighborhood. Now, growing up in Brooklyn, many of my peers and I were exposed to violence at an early age. These experiences shaped a mentality destined for incarceration. Now, I carried this mentality with me to Las Vegas, Nevada. Eventually, I found myself incarcerated, facing charges of robbery, burglary, and drug offenses. I spent years in and out of correctional facilities, and during that time, I constantly read books. I read self-help books, I read religious books, and I also read on credit. On my 30th birthday, while being incarcerated, I made a decision I no longer have the youth or the time to be dwelling in a cell. When I was released, I was determined to get a job and start repaying my credit. Now, after working a couple low-paying jobs, I made a decision to join Hope for Prisoners. Now, my goal was to find a decent paying job, anything that involved driving. That's when I met my counselor, Ms. Geetha Green. Now, she's somewhere in here. But I met Ms. Geetha Green, and she played a significant role in helping me reach this goal. Now, she encouraged me to apply to TransDev as a bus driver. Now, Ms. Geetha, what I was really thankful about Ms. Geetha and the Hope for Prisoners program is because they supported me along the whole process. They helped pay for gas for me to get to the job, and they also paid for my commercial driver's license. Now, at TransDev, I met Ms. Zenobia Rosales. Now, Ms. Zenobia was very enthusiastic about the program and made sure that the hiring process went very smoothly. Now, even with my felony convictions, she made sure that there was no problem. She even said, no, Amari's good. He's with Hope for Prisoners. So I'm thankful for Ms. Zenobia. Now, I'm thankful for Ms. Green, Ms. Rosales, and Mr. Ponder for all they have done in my journey. Now, I've been working for TransDev for 14 months. Now, working with TransDev has allowed me the opportunity to become a resourceful man, not just for myself, but for those I love. I've also discovered that working for the public gives me multiple opportunities to perform good deeds. Sometimes a simple smile, a kind word, or helping someone that's short on their bus fare helps me atone for my past mistakes and earn blessings for the future. Now, today I'm passionately focused on continuing to build my resources, and I strongly suggest to everyone in here, because I was sitting where you were at, take advantage of these free resources that this program has to offer. Use them. Use these resources to get a career path. I did it. You know, Miss Green, I don't know if she's still here, but she Miss Green helped me along the way, helped me with all the resources I needed to get the job and really just change the whole trajectory of the path I was going. Because I know personally, when you're recently released, sometimes you feel like there's no resources, and that's when you're more prone to make a bad decision. You know, so I strongly suggest that you guys take advantage of these free resources and use them to create a career path for your life. Now, I feel like our goal, you know, we should all try to become resourceful. That should be our main goal, is to all become resourceful individuals to our loved ones and the people we care about. And never believe that there are no resources out there to help you improve your life. Because I personally believe once you start believing that, that's when the devil wins. And that's when he's going to trick you into making bad decisions. So if you guys take it from me, came from a rough background, take advantage of these resources. It's going to give you the opportunity to earn more resources, and you're going to look at your situation different. And this is the momentum to the start of you just having a whole nother path. And I thank you guys for listening. I hope my words touch someone in here. And y'all stay blessed and stay strong. Thank you.
Can we give Amari another hand? My gosh. That is so amazing. I also want to give TransDev another round of applause too. Thank you so very, very much for opening up that door. That is amazing. Well, we gotta carve out some time to hear a vivid vision. And our graduates never know who's gonna be called on. So they're shaking in their boots right now. Maybe that is fear of public speaking. Some of them don't even want to make eye-to-eye contact with me right now. But you know, we used to say, if you stay ready, you never got to get ready. If you guys would please join me in welcoming up Mr. Alexander Flesk.
All right, can everybody hear me? Yeah. All right, my name is Alexander Flisk, and today is July 25th, 2026, and this is my vivid vision. Today I woke up extra happy. Not only do I get the privilege of waking up and praying to the man upstairs, but I also celebrate 3 years of sobriety. I continue my morning by working out at my home gym, eating breakfast, and get ready for work. I grab my keys to my 2024 Dodge Ram 1500. Hear that? And head out to work. Absolutely loving life, but more excited for what's to come. It's Friday, it's payday, so you know where I'm headed. No, Indian Springs to pick up my son for the weekend. I used to only imagine how life would be or could be, finally owning a home, having my dream truck, having my dream job as a welder, and most importantly, having a relationship with my son. I'm proud to say that it's finally here, and I thank God every day for it. My name is Alexander Flisk, and today is July 25th, 2025, and this is my vivid vision. See you next year.
Alex, can you come back up here real quick? Can we give him another hand real quick? But I do not want to miss this opportunity, right? because we met Alex inside Southern Desert Correctional Center, right? Where he participated inside our unit, and we stood up the vocational village out there. And I'm bragging and all that, but the real reason why I want you to come up here, because come a little closer, look right over in the camera right there, because there are men that are inside Southern Desert right now watching you.
My boys.
And they're proud of you.
Yeah.
And I just want to let them know that there is nothing on the inside of Alex that's not on the inside of you. Stay focused, pay attention, and one day you will be in the headquarters of the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department, and you'll be graduating too. Give him a hand, man. So very proud of you. My gosh. Man, that got me so excited. I don't even have any more notes. I can't read nobody's bio or nothing. But I can tell you this, right? We have thoroughly enjoyed our relationship with the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department. We are so grateful to Sheriff Kevin Mayhill, my dear friend, who opens up his headquarters on a Friday afternoon so that we can gather in here and celebrate you and celebrate with your families inside police headquarters. When we first started, yeah, give my hand for that, right? When we first started working with LVMPD, we didn't really know what to expect, but then it just very quickly evolved into something phenomenal. Never before in the history of reentry, nowhere on this planet, to this magnitude has law enforcement gotten this involved in mentoring and training people coming home from the prison system. It is my honor and privilege to introduce you to the captain from the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department, Captain Greg Finnis.
I was going to be late today. Glad I got here on time. I was coming down the Summer Parkway, eastbound. I'm in the fast lane, going a few miles an hour over the speed limit. So I don't want to go like 65 and be that jerk that blocks up the highway, but I don't want to go 80 because I'm kind of a hypocrite if I'm going that fast, right? So I'm in the fast lane, and this guy's right on my bumper. He's like super close. He's mad at me, And then he goes around me on the right lane, He goes zipping by me. I think, man, this guy's going kind of fast. So all these thoughts started going through my mind. Like, should I pull this guy over? I'm in a red Durango. It's not a black and white police car, so he doesn't know that I'm a cop, But I'm dressed like this, so I'm thinking, man, I got somewhere to go. I don't want to be late. But he's going 80. And then the driver's side window comes down. And he hangs the middle finger out the window. And it helped me make my decision. And Judge, I know what you're thinking. I know that he has the First Amendment right to express himself, but he doesn't have the right to drive 80 miles an hour in the speed limit on the 215 at Summer Parkway. So we had a short conversation. He signed a little piece of paper, and I got here on time. So glad I didn't have to make you wait, but it's a big day. It feels good to be here, doesn't it? Yeah. For some of you, it's the first time wearing a cap and gown. The cap and gown represent the hard work and dedication that it took to get here. You all did it together. You graduated together. They signified the knowledge and skills that it took to get you here. And I know this program isn't easy. Not everybody has it in them to do what you have done. You've demonstrated that you're committed to being a productive member of society. And once you look around the room, look how many people there are here. All these people that are here to support you. You got friends in the back pumping the air. You got family members. My cops are in the back. Wave at them, guys. You got prospective employers back there. I heard welding. I heard truck driving. I heard bus driving. Whatever you guys want to do, there's a job in the back for you. I want you to take a moment to reflect on this. The support from all the friends and family that you have here for you. I want you to remember what it took to get here. Remember the path that you've walked, but don't let your history define what you can become. You guys have the power to influence other people, whether good or bad. I want you to think of somebody right now who could use a course correction. Somebody in your life, family, a friend, maybe it's somebody in prison who could use some coaching and some mentorship for their exit from prison. Maybe they're on the wrong path and they're just headed for prison. You can head them off. I want you to be their mentor. Be a leader and a positive influence for them. I think we can all agree that you have had enough negativity. And if you ask me, what does the police department want from me? What does Metro want from you guys? I'll tell you. It's voluntary compliance with the law. That's what I want. And if you're going to go 80 miles an hour down the Sumner Parkway, let's just be nice to each other. Can we do that? Being nice goes a long way. If you do get pulled over, just be nice. I'll be nice to you. You be nice to me. Maybe you take it, maybe you don't. But I'll tell you, 22 years I've been working here. 6 years I was on a motorcycle. I wrote a lot of tickets. And the people who get the warnings are the nicest people. The ones that flip me off, they don't give as many warnings. That decision, whether you voluntarily comply with the law, that is completely up to you. The rewards for that are all around you. Friends, family, birthdays, holidays, gainful employment, right? And freedom. Yes. It's all that stuff you've been missing. And if you find yourself struggling, reach out to your mentor. I know they want to hear from you. So continue to apply the lessons you've learned in this program. Keep looking for that other person who needs you to be their mentor. I'm proud of you. I look forward to seeing what you can do with your second chances. Thank you.
Can we give them another round of applause? Captain, I'm gonna ask you to stand up, please. And I'm gonna ask the officers in the back of the room, would you guys please stand up? You know, every month when we take a time out and the sheriff opens up his headquarters, we come into your house. I know there's a lot of activities that take place inside this action room, so you're kind of giving us your living room. And we want to let you know that we appreciate that. The other thing, yes. The other thing that we want to let you know, what we appreciate as a community, we want to say that we appreciate your service to our community. We thank you for every single day getting out in the community and protecting and serving. We want to say thank you for putting your lives on the line. We want to say thank you for being in what sometimes is an absolute thankless job. So for those in our community who don't have this opportunity to say thank you, we as a community want to stand in the gap right now and let you know how much we love you, we appreciate you, and there's a bunch of people in this room who will continue to pray for you every single day that you guys stay safe and make it back home to your families. God bless you guys, man. We got time for another Vivid Vision. Everybody say Vivid Vision. She said, oh my gosh, no. If you guys would please put your hands together for Mr. Micah Davis Jr. Well, don't get scared now.
All right, my name is Michael Davis, and today is July 24th, 2026. This is my real vision. I wake up in peace, no longer in survival mode, after going my whole life trying to survive over live. I've gotten my CDL license, I'm driving trucks, and I'm now financially stable. My fault. I'm now legally financially stable. I finally stopped rationalizing my wrongdoings and using reasons I created in my mind to keep doing certain things. I now have help Now wait, I now have, with the help of Hopeful Prisoners, created a new path for myself and for a better way of moving, and with a better way of thinking. I've also become a mentor with the Hopeful Prisoners, and I'm now a positive influence in my community, no longer using my influence to create a bad influence. Wait, I'm no longer using my influence to influence mischievous or devious acts. I've stopped doing bad things with good intentions, and I'm now a role model for keeping up for my kids that they deserve. We no longer live in the churches. I'm headed to Birches in my first house. I'm driving my first Range Rover, and investing into my big adventures. No longer in the streets. It's my big vision.
Michael, I'm not gonna let you get away that fast. Come here, man. Come here. So I heard you made mention that you want to get a job driving CDL and everything like that, right? I have a dear friend of mine who just happens to be the district attorney. His name is Steve Wilson. And he taught me a long, long time ago in my interactions with him. He said, you live in Las Vegas, and Las Vegas is not so much about what you know, but it's who you know. Come on, take a walk with me, man. Please allow me to introduce you to the area manager for TransDev. This is where Amari is working, driving. So now you are in relation. I heard her say that she's gonna give you a card. So we just connected the dots. And if by chance he gets plugged in there, I'm going to ask you to become his mentor. Can we do that? Man, that's what I'm talking about. That's amazing, amazing, amazing. So Hopeful Prisoners prides ourselves in going out and getting the best of the best when it comes to trainers. Because one of the things that we've learned, and I speak from my own personal experience, is that the vast majority of people from our segment of the population really do want to change, but have no idea how to do it. So what we have gone was to great lengths to find the best of the best trainers, to deliver the best of the best material, with one goal in mind is to help our people to be the absolute best that they can be. I'm going to introduce you to our lead trainer that has been with Hope for Prisoners since Hope for Prisoners was a little tiny room in a broom closet, where there was literally a broom in the room. And this man flies literally all over the world training what it was that he had trained and will continue to train our graduates in. If you guys will please put your hands together for the lead trainer of Hope for Prisoners from Ketter Development, Mr. Greg Ketter.
Wow. This is good. This is good, isn't it, folks? It's good right here. How y'all feeling? Feeling good? You know, I've had the pleasure and the honor of spending the last month with you guys, and I learned as much as I taught. And I learned that we have some good people here. These are good folks, and these are community leaders. That's right, you can give yourself a round of applause. And we also have some good folks over here. You know, come on. MJ, always love, and thank you for your support. Listen, folks, these guys could be anywhere. They could be anywhere, but they're right here. You know, they're right here for you on Friday night. You know, that's something. Give them a round of applause, folks. Yeah, that's okay. So over the last 3.5, almost 4 weeks, we went through a myriad of topics, and some of the topics that we studied and discussed and did some homework on and took notes on: emotional intelligence, social awareness, workplace etiquette, so that you guys are shining stars in the workplace, because I know y'all going to get a job sooner than later, probably sooner than later, right? So we know how to navigate in the workplace and actually get promoted. You know, we don't want you to just start there and in 5 years you're still doing the same thing. We want you to promote promote by the way that you behave in the workplace and the examples that you set for your coworkers. Because these are future shining stars in the workplace, folks. Give yourselves a round of applause. Come on now. We also talked about making wise decisions. Unlike that gentleman that flipped off the captain over there, Greg, you know what, that was, he probably had one of, can you imagine what went through his mind when he looked at, after he gave you the bird, and he went, oh my goodness, that was one of those Southwest commercial moments, one bit away. that was. So making positive and wise decisions. We talked about time management. We talked about prioritizing important tasks. We talked about family values and what it takes to reunite with your children and your family and to have that nuclear family, that tight, your children need to know about you. They need to hear from you. They need to know what your family name stands for. And we talked about all that kind of stuff. We also talked about being a